Hi girls, how's it going? It's Melissa. How are you doing today? I hope you have had a good one so far. I am going to try and show you how I color in one of my journaling Bibles. This is a big Mondo Bible. I've tried to position my camera so that you can actually see when I do this and how I do it. It's really hard because I'm left-handed, so while I'm doing things, it tends to cover up what I'm doing. So even if I were to put it on this side, it still wouldn't work right. So we just gonna give it a shot. That's what we're gonna do. But this is my Inspire. This is the original Inspire Bible. And it's in the large print, so it's big. It's not something you'd want to carry with you every day because it's a big, chunky, heavy thing. But it makes it really nice to have so when you are doing the artwork on the inside. And I also have the smaller one, the Inspire Praise Bible, which is so pretty. Purple flowers and butterflies all over it. I was going to grab it, but don't see where I put it. So I just grabbed this one because it was right there. Oh, I know where I put it. It's in my Bible journaling bag. Go figure. Oh, anyway, we're going to do this one. So I tried to find one with some flowers. So I want to show you how I do my shading. And let me see if I can find one of my flower colorings. I rarely do anything other than color in my Bible. I do sometimes paint things onto it. But for the most part, I just sit in color and relax and enjoy myself when I'm doing it. I got things in here that are half done too because the hubby sometimes will call and say, hey, I need this and that, and can you do this for me? Well, there's some of my flowers. I hope you can see. Yeah, some of them. I got one that I really want to show you though, because this is the one I want to teach you how to do. Okay. Actually, we'll draw this one instead of this one because these are bigger and you can probably see them better. As you see, I don't really organize very well. These Bibles are so great though, because I know there's a huge controversy out there. Some people don't like drawing in their Bibles. I have never had a problem drawing in my Bibles. When I study, underlining, highlighting, making notes in the margins, I just go to town in it. But these are set up so that you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just use the pre-drawn illustrations they have. Oh, yeah, there's one. I've done some of the flowers. I want to show you how to shade. But it has illustrations like this all the way through it. So all you really have to do is color and enjoy the verse. And it just, makes it easy for some people like me who don't like to, I went out when I first started doing this and bought all the stuff. I bought all the things. I bought the paint and the okay, anyway, we're going to start on this. I bought the paint, and I bought the paint brushes, and I bought the gesso to cover the page to protect it when you painted it. I bought all kinds of different markers and pens, and of course this was when I was working, girls, so I had money to do this with. Just all kinds of stuff specifically for Bible journaling, and I never used them. Not very much anyway. They're still sitting over there in my little supply hamper and have only been used very little, which my husband's like, you know what? He loves my artwork, so he's really very supportive of my artwork, so he wants me to do more. I'm just like, yeah, maybe. I really love my scripture writing and my planning and crafting and stuff. It's what I really love. Okay, so first of all, I've got pencils everywhere. Now, these are things I do use, my pencils. I have them everywhere you can imagine. But the first thing I want to show you, if you go to Nikki Drake's channel, today she was showing these. And these particular kind of, you can get them the clickers or with the lids, but these particular kind of pencils, they are Papermate Ink Joy. They're not gel pens, they're regular ink pens. And the reason I like them for this is you can do some outline tracing without it bleeding through your Bible that much. I mean, because gel pens, you're going to be hard pressed to find one that's not going to bleed. That's just the way it is. So I get my pens out first. I do. And then I like doing blues and purples and pinks and things like that. And as far as flowers go, that's just my jam. So I'm going to start by doing this one right here. And I hope you can see it a little bit. But I take a colored pen, one of these, and I trace it, the flower, the color I'm going to want it to mainly be. And one of the main things I try to point out to people is don't be afraid of color. Color is so awesome. Come on, God made the rainbow and all the flowers. He loves color. And keep in mind when you're doing this, of course I'm not doing it today because I'm just kind of showing you guys what I would be doing. I would, read the verse and go over the verse, and then, then color. And I think the main thing is some people, you can get the illustrated faith kits for Bible journaling that go along with the Bible journaling. And I love kits and stuff, but I can't afford them right now. That's just the way it is. I think the cheapest you can actually do a kit of any kind, planner kit or anything like that, is about $25 a month. And that's just, it doesn't sound like much for right now. Since we're on such a tight budget with medical bills and everything, I use what I got. And luckily, I got a lot of stuff because before I quit working, I purchased a buku of stuff. I would go every week and just load up on things when the craft stores would have their sales. Just, love it. Now, with shading, you can do either two different things. Let me do one more outline so I can show you what I mean. And I'll keep with the same colors just so I can show you the difference. But you can either shade from the inside out, which means darker on the inside, while lighter on the outside, or vice versa. You can put the darker color on the ends of the flowers, the tips. Keep in mind, you can do this with everything. I've got all kinds of stuff in this Bible. Boats and lighthouses and praying hands and just all kinds of stuff. Not just flowers. I love flowers. They just make me happy. Probably my favorite planner kit is Carpe Diem's in Bloom. That's their inserts. I have those and I love them so much. Okay. So we got a purple one here and a purple one there. The worst thing about this is it is very hard to keep your pencils sharp. And then also when they're down to, I love the twistables. I have found the twistables. And the twistables make me happy. I think the twistables are in another case. Oh yeah, I've got a whole case over there. Jeez. See, I've got so many I can't even think, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow in the middle. Because yellow goes very, very well with purple. Very, very well. And I have a purple twistable. The only thing about these is they don't write as smoothly. They don't have the same pigmentation as some of the other ones. These are my favorite prism color. But these are so hard. They have such a soft core, which means they give you better, color. They're smoother and everything. But and they're expensive. When you go to sharpen them, they just kind of crumple, and it's just like, that's what I need. I need a decent pencil sharpener that will actually work for these, because not everything does. Okay, so we'll start on this one, and this one I will do the darker shade at the end. And you want it to look really, 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 really smooth. So, I've tried doing stuff like this with crayons, but crayons just don't work the way colored pencils do. You end up having that crayon look. You know, go figure. Okay, so I'll put a darker one there. And I am going to tip the top of it, of each petal. See what I'm doing right there? Just going and tipping it. People tell me all the time, they love my, my artwork and stuff like this, but this is just coloring. And honestly, guys, when I was, younger and in school, I could not color inside the lines to save me. I actually just had to practice to learn how to do this. I can draw, I can sketch, but to learn how to actually add color, I had to practice. I actually like using paint to... Okay, so see what we got so far? See how that just gives a lot of definition? So I'm going to go in with a lighter color. Let's try this one. See, I'm losing my tip on there. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly go in there so that I can build as I go. One of my favorite things to do is when fall gets here, color fall leaves. Oh, I love it so much. I wish we had more of a fall here in Oregon. We really don't have much of one because it ends up starting the rainy season, and well, you guys know how I feel about the rain. It makes me cry. Okay, so that's just very simple one. See how it just gives it depth and it makes it look like, just makes it pop, gives you almost a 3D effect. Okay, so this one, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking. Trying to think what kind of color I want to use. One thing I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to do some blue. I love blues. If you guys ever get the chance, make sure you get some of the packs that have, just a major amount of different colors, because that is so much fun. You don't have to just stick to the same color palette all the time. You get to have some fun. Okay. Well, I'm not finding what I want in that. Yes, believe it or not, I'm not. I'm not finding what I want in all that massive mess of stuff. Oh gosh. I apologize if my arm's reaching all around you guys. Oops, even got some washi in there. So this is where I keep a lot of my pencils. This one I would love to use, but this one died. I don't think I can get it sharpened. I can try. It has 4 different zipper pouches in it, so that you can do your thing. This is what I take with me when I actually go places. Okay, see, we'll do some more of the twistables. They actually write pretty decent for, because I think mainly they were for kids, but they've got some, they actually do pretty well. Because let's face it, that's basically all I am anyway. I'm just a kid. At heart. I have got back surgery going on. Coming up in Monday. Yeah, coming up Monday. And I'm not really looking forward to it. They're going to put an implant in my spine that is going, it's a lot like a pacemaker, they say. They're going to put leads down into my spinal nerves and to try and stimulate the nerve so that stuff doesn't hurt as much. But I just have been trying to avoid any kind of back surgery whatsoever. It's an in and out. It's a 1 day procedure, so it's not. I won't have to spend any time in the hospital unless something, didn't go as planned. But I just don't like it. I'm pretty much good with them operating. I'm not scared of anesthesia, and I'm pretty good. If they want to operate on an arm, leg, whatever, I'm okay with that. But when it comes to my back, I'm very, very scared because it hurts so much all the time anyway. It's just so tender. And I don't even like the thought of people touching it. I'm like, don't touch my back. Just don't. But they're going to. They're going to touch my back. And they're going to charge me a ton of money, I'm sure, to do that. I was like, I can't handle it anymore. I don't have any money, so it doesn't matter. They can't take what I don't have, I guess. Right now, if, someone hacked my account, they would probably laugh really hard first and then start to feel kind of sorry for me and put money in it for me. I'm going to start a GoFundMe. A GoFundMe for my medical bills, and then another GoFundMe for my Bible journaling plan and supplies. I've seen people start some pretty funny GoFundMes before. Hope you guys are getting this. Hope you guys are liking this. This is not something I've done really before. I did do one where I showed people how to actually draw flowers, but I've not done one where, Let me see, what do I want to do? How do I want to work this? Okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try and see if it will sharpen, because I really want to use this color. See how it's broke there? They get blunt, then of course they start going around the wrong way. Makes me sad. Okay, I got a little bit. Let's hope it doesn't pop off on me, because I'm heavy-handed. So, and you almost kind of have to be to really shade really well, because you have to be able to deepen the color where you want it and then keep it light in other places. So I have never actually illustrated anything for my planner. I always use stickers and stuff like that. This is, to me, this is a little bit more of something that I want it to be really personal, because these hopefully will one day be heirlooms for my kids and grandkids, my journaling Bibles, and even just my note-taking Bibles where I chronicled my walk with the Lord. I hope one day it means a lot to my kids, if the Lord tarries, because quite frankly I think Jesus is coming back here pretty soon. I really do. But anyway, I want to leave a legacy, and this will be a little bit of it. I know I cherish every little thing that I have of my mother's like this. She didn't have a lot, but what I was able to get, I cherish it with all my heart. Okay, so there's that part. It's still not as dark as I want it. I don't know why I'm not able to find the colors I actually want to use here. Okay, I'll show you how to do this. Sometimes I even take this and and you'll see what I mean. It really has a really pretty, and with the yellows you want to be really heavy-handed. I'm just checking, make sure you guys are still in frame so you can see this. I wish I could figure out how to get the camera overhead. I just can't figure that one out. Don't know how people do it. I've seen tripods that have what they call the little goosenecks, so you can position them any way you want to. I'm thinking that's what I might need. Okay, so I'm going to do one more because I want to do one in blue. Let's do this one here because it's got the most to work with. So first I'll outline it with a pen. And these pens, that I've got here, they're really affordable at Walmart. I want to go to Walmart right now. They're having their big back to school sale. I love that. I told Nikki Drake on her channel earlier, I'm like, you cannot make me very much happier than, you know, sticking a wad of money in my pocket and letting me go into an office supply store. I love it. Even though I have very little actual use for stuff like that. I love stuff like that. The thing I loved most about my job when I was working, I worked in a hospital, and I was the person that greeted you when you walked in the door, and, you know, made sure your insurance was up to date and address and everything. And I would fax other medical facilities for your records so that we could, you know, all be on the same page. So I had a lot of paperwork. I loved paperwork. Isn't that weird? But I love shuffling papers. Shuffling. Let's see. Which color blue? Let's go with this one right now. Okay, so this one I will do from the inside out, dark. My daughter, she's a very good artist too, but she hates coloring things in. She said all she ever heard from her art teacher in school was shading. I'm like, well, she was right, because that's the key to bringing something to life. And she said, I don't care. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And then this is a little bit darker blue that I'm going to take to trace around the edges of the petals. You guys don't forget, I'm going to be doing my 1,000 subscriber. I'm so used to talking to doctors. Okay. Anyway, subscriber giveaway. I am going to be giving away a full-size A5 planner from Michaels and some goodies to go along with it. It's a real super pretty one. It's got real flowers. It's got beautiful flowers on it. And my favorite planners are my Kiki K's and Carpe Diems. And I do have one Webster Pages. I really like it too. But Kiki K and Carpe Diem are my two favorites. So I just really don't have any use for this Michaels planner, and there's just no sense in letting it sit there and do nothing. So if you would like to win that planner, I'm going to just do another drawing. This will probably be the last time I do it this way, because as we start getting a lot of entries, it'll be hard to keep up with. So I'm going to have to figure something else out. But this time we're just going to do like we did last time and do a drawing for the planner. And so all you need to do for me to be able to do that for you is put your name at the bottom in the comments. Put your name. Also put where you're from, because if you're overseas, I will have to send you something else, because I can't afford that overseas. Unfortunately, they charge so much to send things overseas. But just put where you're from, and that way I'll know when I write it down who's from where, and what I need to do. So do that, and then please share the video so that a lot of other people can see it. Share, like, and hit that notification button. And we should, I haven't even checked today, so I'm getting up to like 550, I think. I'm not totally sure, don't quote me on that, but we're getting there, so it shouldn't be too long. It didn't take long at all to reach that 500. Okay, so this is a really bright, I want to make sure I got the right one. Oh no, this is the one I was going to use. Oop, I almost used the wrong one. This one, this is like an aqua green, and so it just shows up so pretty. So we're going to put this in there. I live close to the coast, so I just absolutely love beach themed stuff. My bedroom, one day I'll film in my bedroom and let you see what I've done to it. Everything is either antique or handmade, but it's all a beach theme, and I love that. There is nothing like sitting and just listening to waves crash. Absolutely nothing at all. One of the most, I'm in heaven that way. I love the mountains around me too, but I'm just pretty much in all of God's beauty. His creation is just amazing. So many people these days are having, drug and alcohol problems, and Oregon in general is an addicted state. I mean, there's so much horrible addiction that goes on in this state, and it just always floors me. I'm one of these people, I get, getting addicted to prescription medication because you're prescribed it for pain or whatever. And it's just so easy to get addicted to it. That's why I have been so careful with all of my stuff that I have going on. So I can understand that, but what I don't understand is when you have so much beauty around you, and boy, do we ever have some beauty around us, how you can just say, okay, I can't stand it, I don't want to do it, I'm just going to take drugs and lose my mind and my health and everything else. It is so much a way of life here. People, it's very hard to meet anyone who either hasn't been on meth and been in jail, or or they have a family member or several family members. It's crazy. It's an epidemic. It is an epidemic. It truly, truly is. My husband, before we met, before he believed, but he was, not enough to stop doing bad stuff, put it that way. But yeah, he was into all kinds of stuff. He was into alcohol big time, drugs, spent some time in jail here and there. And I tell you right now, because I have always been so careful about who I let into my life, if it had not been for God telling me specifically, this is the man I have for you, this is going to be your husband, I would not have given him the time of day because of everything he did. I was like, I know Jesus forgives, and that's all well and good, but that doesn't mean, I wanted any part of any of that stuff in my life. But we've been married 11 years now. He's not had any problems. We're just an old couple that sit around and talk and enjoy each other's company. Sometimes he gets on my nerves and I want to hit him, but I don't. So don't be calling the police on me, please. But okay, I'm going to make this one kind of pinky. Alrighty, ladies. There are flowers. Now, it's like I said, I hope you were able to kind of see what I did, how I shaded things. I always like to make the tips a little bit darker, and then the inside darker. And that's kind of what I did with all of them. Aren't they pretty? I just love my pretty flowers. Love them so much. Pretty, pretty, pretty. But anyway, as I was saying about my husband, he has, you know, he's not an influencer. He's influenced very much so. So he kind of just would go along, but he was stubborn. He still is stubborn, but not about that kind of stuff anymore. His mother and father are both wonderful, godly people. That was another thing. I made his family, and if it hadn't been for his family being so solid and so wonderful, you know, if he'd had a family that was just all, you know, crazy and messed up, again, I would not have, I went the other direction. But he had a praying mama's all he had. And she prayed and prayed and prayed hard for him. We got married when he was 42. And he had been out of all that crazy stuff for about 2 years, a little over 2 years at the time. Had already, you know, bought the home we live in and everything. And his mom says all the time, because she has a wonderful sense of humor, she says all the time, she said, I always knew God would bring him back. She says, I just didn't know it was going to take till he was 40 years old for it to happen. So if you've got a prodigal, do not ever give up. Never stop praying for those kids, because God has given you those children to, you know, raise for him. And yes, once they're of age and they get out on the house, we have to kind of step back and let them make their own choices and everything. But you still have the spiritual authority to pray for your children and to claim them for the kingdom of God. You can rebuke the devil from them. Believe me, I'm praying like that all the time for my daughters. All the time. And I believe that God is going to save them. My youngest daughter, she was doing very, very, very well for a long while. Both of them as children, you know, accepted the Lord and were baptized. But as teenagers, things happen, and you know, they just both went kind of their own direction, kind of like I did. I was 25 years old before I gave my life back to the Lord. So, like I said, and I was a hard case. I was a horrible kid. You know, I did horrible things. So, God can save anybody. There's no one out of his reach. So let him do his thing. That's, like I said, sometimes you really have to step back. And I know it's hard when it's your kids, especially if there's grandchildren involved. But you have to step back and let God work. Because ultimately, when they're in rebellion, the last thing they want to hear is us telling them they need Jesus. Because that's just, you know, that's not what they want to hear. Even though it's true, it's not what they want to hear. So you just pray. You plead the blood of Jesus over them. You pray scripture over them. And you just believe God to deliver those kids. And you will all one day be united in heaven. So, okay, guys. Don't forget the giveaway. I don't have the stuff over here with me to show you, but it's going to be a full-size planner. And this is the size. It's a full-size planner. So it's an A5. So it's not going to be this planner. This is one of my Kiki K's. But it will be this size. And then I'm going to send inserts and a pen and all that fun stuff with it too. So, again, in the comments, leave your name, where you are from, so that I can write that down. And then share the video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification button. Alright guys, if you like this, let me know. And if you would like for me to do more of this kind of stuff, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be happy to answer them for you. Alright guys, have an awesome, awesome, awesome rest of your day. Love you, love you. Bye-bye.